All right, real quick before the video starts, I just wanted to show you that the thumbnail and the title were not clickbait. If you look at our golden gun, we're doing 5,532 total damage. If we go ahead and take a look at Gunpowder Gamble here with all of our damage buffs, we get 5,973, which is in fact more than a golden gun super, as you saw before. Welcome everybody. As you can see at the beginning clip of the video, today I am bringing you a hunter build that juices the ever-living crap out of our Gunpowder Gamble. And yes, I was not joking in the title or the thumbnail. The Gunpowder Gamble with this build, as long as you have every buff that I have for you up and running, will do slightly more damage than a marksman golden gun. In this build, we're not just going to be boosting our Gunpowder Gamble, we're also going to have basically infinite radiant, infinite restoration / ways to cure ourselves so that we have a way to heal. We're going to have ascension up at all times so that we have a damage reduction up at all times. We're also going to have insane uptime on our transcendence as well as insane uptime on all of our abilities. This build does use the exotic hunter cloak relativism, and it uses the spirit of inmost light and spirit of verity perks on it. I know as of recently those exact perks have been going pretty viral on a hunter build that uses grapple grenade to do a bunch of damage. This basically replicates that but via Gunpowder Gamble. This build has been extremely fun in the past couple of days of me crafting it and trying it out. It is going to be one of my go-to builds for probably the rest of the season. I really hope you guys agree and you guys enjoy it as well, because it is really fun just seeing enemies absolutely get disintegrated by a handheld nuke. The gameplay you are watching right now is a -30 liminality strike, and later in the video I have a -40 solo ops live gameplay for you so you can see it in high-end content. But before we get to the gameplay, let me actually show you what to run and break down exactly how we are making our Gunpowder Gamble do more damage than our golden gun super. I think I'm going to explain what to run on this build a little different than my other videos. I think I'm just going to start off by showing you everything that is boosting the damage of our Gunpowder Gamble. Then I'll show you what I built around that to make it a insanely good build for endgame. So first things first, the most important item in this build is going to be relativism, and you do need Spirit of Inmost Light and Spirit of Verity. Mainly being Spirit of Verity, this is the biggest damage boost for our grenade. All right, so the reason we want Spirit of Verity on our exotic class item is because every time we get a kill with a damage type matching our grenade's damage type, which for this build is going to be solar, we get stacks of death throws there on the left. And the further the meter is full, we get two things. We get increased grenade ability recharge, and then we also get increased damage with our grenade. So as you can see, that is a very good two things to have in a build that is based around Gunpowder's Gamble. The next thing that we are going to be using that will be boosting how much our grenade does is this perk called Shield Crush here. Really, the only important part here is that bottom section of text there, where while you are amplified or radiant, your grenade recharges faster and deals increased damage. And with this build, we're going to have two different ways to become radiant, so that way we should have radiant up at all times. The first one is going to be this Fever and Chill artifact perk, where just landing precision hits with our solar weapon will make us radiant. The other way we're going to become radiant is the Facet of Dawn Prismatic Fragment, where basically just hitting someone with a powered melee will make you radiant. So all you have to do, hit someone with your melee, become radiant there on the left, and boom, now you have increased grenade damage. So that's two ways we're going to be boosting our Gunpowder Gambler damage. The third way is with the Facet of Courage Prismatic Fragment, where your Arc, Solar, and Void abilities will deal increased damage to targets afflicted by darkness debuffs. And the way we're going to be applying the darkness debuff to our enemies is with Withering Blade, because whenever you hit an enemy with Withering Blade, it applies slow to them. So all you have to do is just basically throw your melee at someone. You'll get radiant from before, and they'll also become slowed, which will then give you both the buffs, which will boost our Gunpowder's Gamble. Now, the fourth way that we're going to be applying an extra damage bonus to our Gunpowder Gamble is with the Cauterized Darkness artifact perk. Stasis or Strand debuffed non-boss combatants take increased solar damage from all sources. So this damage buff basically works exactly like Facet of Courage. Just hit someone with your stasis melee. As long as they're not a boss, they'll be debuffed, and your solar grenades will do more damage to them. All right, and the fifth and final way that we're going to be boosting how much our Gunpowder Gamble does is with a high grenade stat. So there's two ways to approach this. You can be like me, where you get to 150 grenade stat and then run a weapon with Blast Distributor, because each time you get a stack of Blast Distributor, it adds 10 to your stat, and it maxes out at 5 stacks. So at 5 stacks, you'll get an extra 50 grenade stat. So that'll put us at 200, which is the cap here for the grenade stat. So basically, if you're like me, running a 150 grenade stat, running a weapon with Blast Distributor, all you have to do, hit them with the weapon, get Blast Distributor ×5, and boom, your grenades will now do more damage. All right, so basically, if we take all of those damage buffs and apply them on top of each other, this is what that'll look like. We'll kill enemies, get our death throw stacks to the max, we'll go ahead, spawn in our enemy, shoot our blaster, hit him with the melee, and boom, 5973. So I know that might look like a lot, but I promise you in real time in gameplay, it actually is pretty easy to keep all of those things up and running. So that right there was basically just how we're going to boost our Gunpowder's Gamble. But now let me show you the rest of the build and so why this build actually cooks in high-end content. So back to the Prismatic Hunter subclass. In terms of super, you're going to want one of two things, either Golden Gun or Silence and Squall. For abilities, you're going to want Gambler's Dodge, already explained Withering Blade, and then you're going to want Swarm Grenade because all of the buffs I just showed you for Gunpowder Gamble also work on Swarm Grenade because it is also a solar grenade. For aspects, you're going to want Ascension, and this is just because it pairs very well with Spirit of Inmost Light on our class item, and it also gives us Amplified, which will give us a damage reduction. So that is very useful in high-end content. Fragments, once again, Facet of Courage, like I said before. You're going to want Facet of Hope, and this is because while you have an elemental buff, which once again in this build will basically have permanent radiant up, our class ability will regenerate more quickly. And then once again, class ability is very important because it'll proc Gambler's Dodge and Ascension for us. We're going to want Facet of Dawn just so we get radiant off melee hits. We're going to want Facet of Purpose. This makes it where when pick up an Orb of Power based on whatever energy our super is, we'll get a class buff. That plays into reason why I recommended Silence and Squall and Golden Gun. Silence and Squall is because when you grab an orb, you'll get Frost Armor. And then with Golden Gun, if you grab an orb, you'll get Restoration. Another thing to note with Golden Gun will get the boost from a lot of the Gunpowder Gamble type of damage boosts, mainly it being the Facet of Courage and also the Cauterized Darkness perk here. So with both of those, you can also provide a damage buff to your Golden Gun. And then the last fragment is Facet of Mending. This will make it where every time we get a grenade final blow, it will cure us. And obviously we're going to get a bunch of grenade kills with our Swarm Grenade, our Gunpowder Gamble, and our Transcendence Grenade. Also, one thing I forgot to mention earlier with Transcendence, our grenade itself actually does do solar damage in the second part of it. So it will receive all the grenade boosts that Gunpowder Gamble will as well. So your Transcendence Grenade will actually even be doing more damage too. Now, in terms of weapons in the build, I like using Festival Flight here because it has Attrition Orbs and Blast Distributor on it, which is a great way to create orbs as well boost our grenade stat. If you do have like 200 grenade stat though, Blast Distributor is kind of pointless for you, so you can run something else here like a Mint Retrograde or any other special weapon you'd like to run in this slot. Now for your energy weapon, just make sure it's something solar so that we can proc our death throws from Spirit of Verity here. I think Sunshot is a great option because it does scorch a lot of targets, which will play into the artifact perk here, Radiant Shrapnel. This makes it where dealing sustained weapon damage while radiant or defeating a scorched combatant with a weapon causes the target to release solar projectiles that deal damage and scorch on impact. So we'll be proccing this a lot because we are going to be pretty much infinitely radiant and we are going to be scorching a lot of targets using Sunshot. Another really good option if you don't want to run Sunshot is going to be the Yuletide Apex, and that's just because this thing is the best damn near solar SMG in the entire game. Arguably the best solar weapon in the whole game. This thing is nuts. For heavy weapon, once again, you can run what you want here. I recommend something solar so that we can benefit from the damage boost of Cauterized Darkness. Now, before we move on from weapons, I would like to point out the weapon mods here for Festival Flight. If you are using this weapon like I am, Temporal Loader here is really good. It makes it where whenever you hit an enemy that's slowed, frozen, or suspended, the gun basically reloads itself. So basically, all you have to do is hit someone who's like slowed, and if you look at the ammo, it basically refills itself over and over again as long as they're slowed. And another reason why that is really good is because our Transcendence Grenade applies slow. So as long as you are throwing your grenades off, this gun will automatically reload itself over and over again with the Transcendent Grenade damage rotation. Just look at all the chaos that is happening here. Now for mods on your helmet, you're going to want Ashes to add sets that we get bonus super energy on grenade kills. We're going to want Super Font just to get bonus super stat, and then Harmonic Siphon so we create orbs on our solar weapon final blows. On the arms, you're going to want Firepower so grenades create orbs. If you don't have 200 grenade stat, you're going to want Grenade Font. This just makes it where whenever we can't get Blast Distributor off, as long as we have an armor charge, we'll still get a bonus to our grenade damage. And then for the last slot, run Fastball. For chest piece, run whatever 2 damage resistance you would prefer, and then Harmonic Ammo Generation. For our boots, you're going to want Solar Weapon Surge. This just makes it that we get a slight damage boost to our solar weapons when we have an armor charge. You're also going to want Absolution and Insulation. And then on the class item, you're going to want Time Dilation, Powerful Attraction, and Bomber. And last but not least, in the stats, you're obviously going to want as high as grenade stat as you can get. You're also going to want at least 100 super, because we do want to get our super back as much as possible, especially if you are using Golden Gun, because of how much damage boost we can apply to it. Besides these two stats, it's kind of up to you. So have fun. Feel free to run whatever stat distribution you would like besides these two stats right here. All right, so that right there is the entire Gunpowder Gambler Golden Gun build. I hope you guys enjoyed everything. I hope you understood everything. If you have any questions, please let me know down below. But now I think we're gonna go take this into some live gameplay so I can explain and show you how to use the build properly. All right, for this build, we're gonna go ahead and be going into the solo ops, the creation, and with the modifiers I have here, we're gonna go ahead and be 40 light under. We're gonna pop this so we get amplified. And just like that, we already have our Gunpowder Gamble for this enemy that spawns up here. Go ahead and throw that, get some blast distributor going, and absolutely destroy everything but this big yellow bar minotaur for some reason. Throw that up there, blow them up. That will apply cure to you. Remember, whenever you do get a grenade kill, you do heal yourself. Instantly fry them. I should be standing on the plate. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm too busy trying to show off. So yeah, to be honest, this thing really just fries ads. It is extremely satisfying and fun to kind of just see a group of enemies, like kind of just like spawn camp them. Watch them spawn and just immediately, the second their feet touch the ground, just get disintegrated by a handheld nuke. It genuinely is extremely fun and satisfying. I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of morbid, but I mess with it. Like this group of enemies right here, gone, deleted. And this is minus 40 content, by the way. Like this build is extremely viable. Oh, anti-barrier. All right, luckily with this build, anti-barrier isn't that big of a problem, because with Radiant, we do get anti-barrier on our weapons, luckily. Oh, I had to reload. That's such unfortunate. That was a waste of a Gunpowder Gamble. We're gonna deal with him though in a second. Yeah, we'll just let him pop his bubble down there. Actually, we'll hit him with the Transcendence Grenade. And just like that, using the temporal loader, our grenade launcher will never have to reload on enemies like that. That's an overload. We'll deal with him in a second. Once again, this build can take care of overloads via the slow from our Withering Blade, so that is also crossed off. I think Jolt slows these people too, right? Yes, it does. Cool. And kablooey. That should be enough to finish you. Yes, it is. Now that what I just did there was kind of dumb, and that's because I did almost kill myself using it. That's not really a problem in low tier content, because the self damage is a bit toned down. But in something like high-end content, especially if there's like the grounded modifier and you do it while jumping, you can seriously, and I mean seriously, end up just killing yourself over and over again. All right, go ahead and throw that over there. There's a Wyvern, by far arguably my least favorite enemy. We're gonna go ahead and Transcendence loop him. Oops. There we go. He froze via that. Get this going on him. My frames are absolutely dropping because of the amount of effects going on my screen. There's an overload. I missed that. Oh no, it still landed on him. Cool. He got obliterated. Another Wyvern. Damn. That was a big chunk from one Gunpowder's Gamble. And dead. GG. All right, so that right there was the entire Gunpowder Gamble build. I hope you guys enjoyed everything. I hope I explained everything perfect for you, so you understand the whole gist of how to run the build, why the build is actually insanely effective in anything in the game. As always, if you have any changes or recommendations to the build, please let me know down below. Of course, feel free to also comment with any type of build that you would like me to use in the future for a video. I will always greatly take recommendations on future builds. That's going to be it for me. If you made it this far into the video, just know that I love your face. And all you fine ladies and gentlemen, Have a great rest of your day.